Welcome to Women of the Metaverse. I am Cheryl Laidlaw.
I am Angela Harkness. We have been and are still on a journey to discover the Metaverse, Web 3.0, NFTs, and anything that we are required to know to join this world.
From this podcast, we will help you to unlock how the Metaverse is going to impact your brand, your business, and even your personal life.
Join us as we take the mystery out of this new digital universe.
Welcome to episode 3 of Women of the Metaverse. This is the second part of What is the Metaverse? So, Angela, what are we going to talk about in this episode?
So it's such a big subject, and we wanted to bring you it in a couple of parts because in this one, we actually wanted to give you more examples of how the people are using and companies are starting to use the metaverse. And sometimes when people give you a quote about what it is, it's almost difficult to imagine because we're using today's language for something that's in the future. So we wanted to try and help you envision it yourself. So the first way would maybe say to think about it or explain it is if you've ever played yourself, or you may have a partner that spends hours gaming, or you may have kids that spend hours gaming, is to think about games like Call of Duty, Roblox, or Fortnite, because those are really first world things into the metaverse. And even if you haven't played it yourself, you've probably seen adverts, particularly Call of Duty adverts come on quite a lot. So if you see those, that's how you can start to envision what this metaverse world is going to look like. Cheryl, do you want to explain about your niece and nephew playing Roblox? Because that's really interesting.
It is. It absolutely is. So Roblox was brought to my attention when I attended Social Media Marketing World back in February. And there was a lot of hype around Roblox. And there's lots of projects that are going into this, this children's game, which at the time I was a little confused about. But it wasn't until I sat down with my niece and nephews a few weeks back, and what were they playing? Roblox. So I was like, right, guys, come and sit with me. Your auntie wants to find out and find out more about this game. So they're all individually on their iPads playing together in this game. And I have no idea what the aim of the game is. I'm sure it's to level up and, I don't know, collect coins. I don't know. I'm a Mario girl, so
I'm still solitaire. That's me.
I'm a Mario girl in the room. So it looked like my niece was just aimlessly walking through this virtual world, collecting and, I don't know, exploring this world and jumping off bits and pieces and buying wings and having this armor that you need to get to the next level. So I said to my niece, did you pay for this? Yes, mummy paid for this. Oh yes. Oh, okay. And so I turned to my sister-in-law and asked her, and this Roblox game, is it, what's the name of the game? And she said, it's costing me a fortune, Cheryl. To which I laughed, because everything's pay to play. And I was starting to form this example in my mind, but an idea in my mind of what Roblox actually was. And to actually see it, it's a game. It's a game for kids, and they have created so much with it. And since then, I found out that they have a Nightland where they can walk in. I don't know if they can buy the trainers. I wouldn't be surprised if
I would imagine they can.
If they could, yeah, they can buy the trainers. But again, it would be for the virtual character. And they've got the clothing brand Forever 21 has set up shop there. So Roblox, and whenever you do any research on the metaverse, Roblox will be at the forefront. There is so much going on in this computer game. it's mind blowing. And I even
So can
think
you
that
just go into Forever 21, do you think, and buy sunglasses or full outfits and
I reckon so, because my niece is
wow.
already buying up her outfits for this game.
Wow.
So I'm assuming you can go into Nightland and pick up your favorite pair of trainers, or cost of mum and dad, of course.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
instead of
absolutely.
asking for a toy for their birthday, perhaps they'll be saying, "I want my Roblox character to have the new Nike Air trainers in the
Yeah.
Roblox."
Wow.
Right?
God.
So that to
Yeah.
actually see that firsthand a few weeks ago, I was quite shocked. But it's there. So where else can listeners go to have a little play in the metaverse, Angela?
So if you see projects, a lot of these projects revolve around three main areas. So there's one called Decentraland, there's Sandbox, and there's Solana. So Cheryl and I actually had a little play in Decentraland, and we'll leave all these links in the show notes so you can go yourself.
Yeah.
So you
It
can
was a
go
few
into
few weeks back,
yeah,
wasn't it? Before we
yeah,
got our meta
yeah,
our
it
meta
was. So
Oculus. Yeah.
this is how far you sort of come quite quickly because we went and had a little look around in Decentraland. You can sign up for a free account. You don't get to use all the features, but you can have, and we were trying to find one another and we kept walking past one another and we couldn't quite turn and have a conversation. But you start to get a little grasp of it. But then, a few weeks later we're having a meeting in Horizon Rooms in the metaverse. So you start to grasp what it is and mean. Anyway, those are the three at the moment, but there are many, many more projects coming out all the time, becoming live. And in future episodes, we will talk about all these projects, particularly the ones that really excite us. And we're interested in the ones that are going to mean something for your business or for you personally. We're not necessarily into gaming unless we think there are clever features in there that you might be able to transfer to your business or personal life. So, we've done a little research and we're going to go through a few projects that we are really interested in or that we
Yeah.
find really exciting. So you start, Cheryl. What's one
Okay,
of your
sure.
favorites?
So my favorite one, which we've just done a little Google for, is law firms. Law firms, right? They are buying property in the metaverse, and they are they are marrying people. They are setting up offices. They are handling common legal situations. They are sorting out intellectual property issues. It's already started, and
It's
my mind was
bananas.
my mind was blown. It's already there, isn't it? They don't even have to change anything. Lawyers, it's already there. They've just got to go and buy their property. I say they've just got to get in there quick,
Yeah.
guys. Get in there quick.
Yeah. Can you
What
imagine
about
in the
yeah?
metaverse avatars sitting around a table getting divorced in the metaverse? I mean, how much money is that going to cost you
Crazy.
to get divorced in the metaverse? It's madness. It
That's
is
mental.
madness.
Maybe we'll only be getting married in the. Well, are you married? Well, we are in the metaverse, but not in real life.
Yeah.
Right.
How does that work? I'll keep your £25 million property in the metaverse, but
Yeah.
I have no right to anything outside of it. It is fine. But
Absolutely.
there
Maybe.
might be some like genuine, we're laughing about this if it's madness, but actually there could be some, good things that
No,
come
I
out of
think,
this as well.
yeah, I think so. Absolutely. It just blew my mind. So that was the first one I
Yeah.
wanted to come up with. What about you? What about you, Angela?
So I know recently, I don't know if anybody has, it's a very American thing. So Coachella was on recently. So the festival Coachella. And I think Glastonbury, I might be doing something similar as well. But you could attend the festival through the metaverse. So I'm imagining you put on your Oculus 2 and you enter a room and you can dance and you can hear the music and you see what's going on. And I know particularly for Glastonbury where people really struggle to get tickets. It's really hard to get tickets for Glastonbury, and people who love to go, love to go. I couldn't, it's my worst nightmare to go to a festival, but people love it. So
Yeah.
so to be able to go somewhere that you love if you can't attend in person, but what it means for you too, if you run a kind of sort of, again, I think we talked about this in part one of this. If you run an events company, it also gives you the opportunity to have your own mini festivals. So you can have musical events, or you could have whatever, but people can just attend via the metaverse. So you could be holding it in your back garden and, have this massive festival that people attend worldwide. The possibilities are endless. It's amazing.
I
What
love
about you? What
that.
about another one that you
Brilliant.
really like?
Well, actually, coming on from when I was when I was a child. Now, get your small violins out. Now, I always wanted, I always wanted to go to Disney World, and my mum and dad never took me. It
Oh,
was too expensive.
yeah.
That's fine. Okay, I still haven't been. So if anyone's up for going, give me a shout.
I've
We'll go.
been. I've been to Disney World.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have created a 3D simulator that is a replication of one of its theme parks,
That's
which is
amazing.
so cool for people like me. I haven't been. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to go to the real deal, but I will take this virtual world right now.
I think because for me also, the older I get, the more miserable I get around people. So it's the idea of standing in a queue in Disney World or any of the Disneys, again, just my worst nightmare. But if I could sit on a ride or, do the magic teacups, I would do that. I would love that.
Hopefully, there's no queues in the metaverse,
Oh my God, they can't know.
right?
Those are the things you would
Eliminate
think the
all the
metaverse gets rid of. Like no queues. You should be able to just go to Disney World and ride all the rides by yourself,
yeah.
shouldn't you? There shouldn't be other
No
people on
standing in
them.
queue to see Mickey.
No,
You get to see him
no.
straight away. He's walking
Yeah, just to have a
around.
chat. Just get to have
Yeah.
tea with Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
You
that would
should be
be
able to do
ace.
that. Yeah, yeah,
I'm signing up for that.
yeah. No people. If I can live in the metaverse with no people, I would be happy.
I'm sure we could code it in for you, Angela.
Yeah, my dream. So another one that I found though just recently was Warner Brothers released a new film called In the Heights, and they had a block party. The whole film centers around Washington Heights, and so they had a metaverse block party where you could attend this block party, and there was dancing and music, and the actual choreographer of the film did this sort of virtual dance session where you could join in with the choreography. So even
That's so
just for,
clever.
I know, but even for events like that, you have these huge red carpet events, but I think to be able to let other people in on those events and hold these kind of block parties, I think that's really smart thing to do. That's really clever. And again, for yourself, if you're launching anything, that's another way to do it. You could have this event in the metaverse and have people come that maybe wouldn't be able to come. Or, if you launch something, it's expensive to hold a party. And I would imagine in the metaverse, it's much, much cheaper, and you can control it and you can have the room the way you want it. So just taking on from what other people are doing is a marvelous way to see how you can transfer that to your own life and your own businesses.
Yeah,
One more, and
most
then
definitely.
we'll finish
So
up, Cheryl, because there's so many we
we've
could talk about.
absolutely, but we've got to talk about Fashion Week in the metaverse, which happened in March. That
Yes.
was pretty phenomenal, where they came together with a collection of outfits
Yeah.
and had a metaverse runway, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
Yeah.
a thing now forever and ever.
Yeah. That was
And
Decentraland, I think, wasn't it? That held that. It was on Decentraland. I think
right,
I remember reading. But I think
okay,
what's really smart about that as well is that you could design outfits that people can physically buy, but there are
yeah,
also designers who are now designing purely for fashion in the metaverse, purely for avatars to wear. So that in itself is a new career that's being
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
created.
that's maybe why Meta's only got a small selection, Angela. So you have to go to a
Yeah.
not London Fashion Week in the Metaverse
Yes.
next
Yeah.
year, or is it
Yeah.
September? Do they do it twice a
Okay.
year?
I think
I'm not
maybe
sure.
this one was in March, so maybe they'd do a winter one in the metaverse. Are there
Mm.
seasons in the metaverse? Who knows?
Who knows, right?
Yeah. I think you get to decide. If you just wanted to live in winter, you could live in winter. You decide what your metaverse looks like, which is what's amazing about it.
Absolutely.
So, anyway,
Definitely.
we wanted to bring you this second part to really show how creative and innovative the metaverse is, and then let your creativity run wild with it. And one of the things, or the quotes that we love, is from Kathy Hackle, who is deemed the godmother of the metaverse. She said, "We are all world builders, and now it's your time to build," which sums it up perfectly. This is exactly what it is. It can be how you want it to be.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So
Yes,
thank you for listening. Please go and explore the metaverse and check out our show notes. We would love to hear about any projects you find. Join us in our next week's episode where we'll be talking about all things NFTs. I'll see you then.
excellent. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Women of the Metaverse.
You can find all information, links, and people we talked about in the show notes on our website.
If you have enjoyed this podcast, please comment and subscribe.
Join us again in the next episode as we continue this exciting metaverse journey.